You. What's up, everybody? RageCage20 here, back with In This Moment's Bit by Wolf album. Black Widow album. I'm so used to saying blood whenever I say In This Moment. But now we up in the Black Widow. We in technically song 3, Big Bad Wolf. Now, if you caught the last one, fuck did it start out with some crazy shit, and since this is another music video, I can't imagine there being anything but crazy shit. And I like crazy. Crazy gets me going in the morning, you know what I mean? Like, I live for this shit, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see some deranged insanity, and hopefully, because I've heard nothing but good things about this song, nothing but hype about this song, so I'm really excited to get into this song. This is gonna be some good shit. I can feel it. So I'm not even gonna waste any more time. Let's get into this bad boy. Oh no, here we go. Okay. I'm already scared. Nothing's happened, I'm already scared.
Even in these chains, you can't stop me. 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 Once upon a time, there was a nasty little piggy filled with pride and greed. Once upon a time, there was an eager little piggy typical disease. You see, this little pig is slowly becoming my own worst enemy. You see, this eagle pig, she's a blah, 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 fucking paranoid. Everywhere I go, you go along with me. Anything you get is all because of me. Everything I do, you do along with me. No matter where you run, you're gonna hide from me. She's got a hold on me. Maybe she's just what they want me to be. Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Won't you let me in? Won't you let me in? I'm in everywhere that you've been. No, I got nothing to lose and nothing to win. Won't you let me in? Won't you let me in? I'm already in these chains. 'Cause I'm the big bad wolf and let the games begin. You see, I am the wolf, and this dirty little piggy lives inside of me. You see, every now and then I forget which one I want and which one that I need. I have come to realize that both of them have become a necessity. And I have come to realize that they become which animal I choose to feed. Anything I say, you lie along with me. Every song you sing is all because of me. Anytime I cry, you always laugh at me. No matter what you do, you will belong to me. She's got a hold on me. Maybe she's just what they want me to be. Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Won't you let me in? Won't you let me in? I'm in everywhere that you've been. No, I got nothing to lose and nothing that you win. Won't you let me in? Won't you let me in? I'm already in these chains. 'Cause I'm the big bad wolf and let the games begin. Oh man, all this craziness, I just can't get the fuck out of my head. I can't. chains, you can't stop me. Even with these chains, you can't stop me. Even with these chains, you can't stop me. Even in these chains, you won't break me. Even in these chains, you won't stop me. Even in these chains, you won't break me. Even in these chains, you won't take me. Even in these chains, you won't hold me back.
Oh. All right. I'm having a lot of revelations today, um, about this band. Like things I've thought before in the past that I've semi mentioned in the last album. But the more I've listened to it, the more I expanded my own personal thoughts about it and stuff, and haven't really had a moment to mention it until I started doing the next album here. I'm trying to. No, because they're both. So I'm trying to think of a band that's a good example of this. Of course, any pop band would be would be a good one. I'm trying to think of someone specifically. It's not coming to my head. But I'll put this out there. If I think of one, I'll let you know. There are definitely types. Actually, Evanescence is not a bad one. There are. It's a bad example, but it's not a great example. But it's not, But it's not. It's not a bad example either. I did just say it was a bad example, but it's not technically a bad example. Anyways, Evanescence. Follow me here. There are bands out there, and this is a legit style. There's like I would say there's bands like Nightwish, where the instrumentation is just as advanced and rich as the vocalizations. To where you can just hear tons of stuff going on in the background. And then there's other bands to where the whole purpose is we have such a powerful frontliner that everyone else needs to stay behind and just let them do their thing. And I feel like Evanescence is not a horrible example of that. There are some little intricacies that they do with the instrumentation that I do notice and pick up myself. But I'd say that's like maybe like 15% of the time. Every other thing is like Amy Lee is our poster child. She is so powerful by herself. We just support her, stay in the background, and let her take the show. And that is a legit style of band. That's a weird freeze frame I ended up on. And I feel like in this moment is a great example of that. Pretty much it's like if I try to pick out what the band was actually doing, I can't find anything. Like they're just doing power chords and being a supporting rhythm section. Like there might be an occasional solo, but besides maybe the occasional example, like in Scarlet, with that kind of weird pick, like acoustic bass sounding thing that I brought up in the Blood album. Besides the occasional little thing, it's pretty much just like we're in the background, we're just supporting our superstar, which is Maria Brink. So pretty much the only thing I can really bring up is just her, because she is like, I'd say 80% of the band. Like there is no in this moment without Maria fucking Brink. If you removed her and just had the band, I think you'd lose most of your fans. Like it's her. She is the band. So it's a lot different for me to have to pick things out to talk about, because there's nothing really going on instrumentally, and that's kind of my forte. That's my focus. That's what I specialize in, is instrumentation. Not so much vocals, but I would do my best. We do have some things to talk about here. This one is actually instrumental here at the beginning, which this was the freeze frame, by the way. I stopped out, I was like, that's weird. I just clicked on a random spot. I was like, okay, that's interesting. But of course, that could happen pretty much anywhere in this song. It's insanity. At the beginning here somewhere, there was this really cool, I don't know what you call it. Here I said that just instrumentalization is my forte. I still don't know anything about strings really. But I like to call it I called it a guitar neck slide. I don't know if that's the official term, but that's a cool term. You should call it that. If not, a neck slide. But there's this really cool, just just a slow slide down the string, or down the frets, across the frets, that they got going on here in this beginning. It kind of really sets the fucking mood. Waiting for it. I forgot how long this intro was. There it is.
Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Even in these chains, you can't stop me.
Might actually be. It's got bent. Are they bending the strings or sliding? Can't tell. They might just be slowly bending the string upwards instead of actually sliding. Again, I don't know what they do to cause the effect, but I know what's happening musically. So yeah, I don't know if he's sliding down the neck or if he's just taking the string and bending it upwards. I'm not 100% positive, or it could be neither of those. I don't know. Anyways, again, as you'll see, all the women's faces in here are covered with masks. I feel like there's a reason for this. I don't know if she's ever stated what this reason is, but I could now kind of want to go find this out. So I just thought that was really cool. That really kind of set the kind of almost like is it trudge? What's the word? I want to say trudge. Kind of just this grueling, like slow, just almost decay, almost like you had nothing left and you're just slowly taking step after step, lumbering ahead, kind of just like walking to your death or something. Like just atmosphere, like really does set the tone, like right out the gate, even if you weren't watching the video, which does a pretty good job of setting the tone itself. I really enjoyed, first off, even in these chains you can't stop me is just a fucking crazy line already. That just that being the first thing that's said and said multiple times is just like, whew, you know where this song's going. Like you can just feel, just every inch of this song is just filled with angst and then explodes into energy. Like there's so much energy in this fucking song. Okay. I love when she kind of moves from just kind of talking, just kind of more, as I mentioned at the end of the Camelot album, if you watched, if that one's come up before this one. But who knows, I might have done more. So the poetry for the Poisoned, I mentioned that Maria is really good at sacrificing kind of tonality and notes to put more emotion into it. Kind of almost make it like just kind of like choking out the words, which kind of cuts out all musicality to it, but then just opens the floodgates so you can just pour so much emotion into every fucking word, and she's really good at doing that. And that's a great vocal technique as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, I keep hearing noises. I feel like someone's coming in, but then I look and no one's in, so that's weird. I don't know what's going on. But I really like when she goes from that, just that raw emotion, to actually singing. Is such a cool transition. I want to see if I can find that because I didn't write down time stamps. So here's something about something I've never mentioned before, and I just thought of. With kind of vocal fry and false chord singing, screaming, grunting, whatever you want to call it. When you sing in that style, it becomes atonality. I don't think that's right. Atonal. Same thing, but wrong phrasing. It becomes atonal. If you actually listen, if you go listen to any kind of just pure screaming song, if you actually try to sing the notes of the scream, there are none. It just becomes atonal. There's no tonality to the song at all. But it sounds like they're singing notes, and that's where the instrumentation comes in. This is a really cool metal effect that I've been in love with forever. Is that especially if you go to like Arch Enemy, back when Miranda, was that her name? I don't know, was doing it. I know Alyssa has done a great job taking over. But in Yesterday is Dead and Gone, if you listen to it, when you have that guitar that's da na 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 da na na da, it sounds like she's singing those notes. But if you pay attention, it's atonal. There's not a single note in the way she's singing, but the guitar makes it sound like they're singing notes. If you try to sing along with it, you'd just be singing the guitar riff, which is a really cool effect. So at this moment when she's technically singing, there's no tonality to this at all. So it just sounds like she's just kind of like talking through just gritted teeth of just anger and frustration. And then when she breaks out of that and switches to singing, it's just a really cool transition. That's what we're looking for here. I decided to explain that in a long roundabout way. Right? Goddamn. Pausing anywhere is scary in this fucking video. Yeah, when she kind of switches there, and you can kind of hear a little bit of tonality coming in. She even does a good drop off on her pitch. Just lets it kind of fall away and drop off. Everyone has a downward drop off on her tone, which is also a very cool effect. It just, God, there's almost like this air of almost like desperation, maybe even hopelessness, that I'm just picking up from. Again, Maria Brink, I swear, is so good. Like, this is why I've fallen in love with this band so much. It's just, for a big thing for me, emotion is huge in music. If it doesn't have emotion, I'm not invested at all. And even in parts where Maria's not even singing, I can just feel emotion dripping in every fucking word she's saying, and that's just so powerful to me. Okay, now we should be good. It's been 20 minutes. I thought it would have been more, in all honesty. I feel like I've been talking a lot. But yeah, goddamn. Just that again, that transition, like she just barely slips, and if you pay attention, it's like, oh, I can actually hear notes now, and it just kind of creates this cool, like very marcato scene, which we'll get into in a second here because I have that written down as well, and then into this kind of more sustained falling away pitch. It's just really fucking cool.
You see the seagull tail? She's a blah, 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 fucking paranoid. Everywhere I go, you go along with me. Anything you get is up because of me. Everything I do, you do along with me. No matter where you run, you're gonna hide from me. She's got a hold on me.
And back
She's just what they want me to.
to more speaking.
Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Won't you let me in?
A little bit.
Won't you let me in? I'm in everywhere that you've been. I got nothing to lose and nothing to win.
She's blending back and forth between those two styles I was just talking about. Like, she has so much vocal fry on everything that she's singing that there's moments where there's atonality that then blends into actual tonal music, and she just keeps going back and forth between that seamlessly, it seems like. And that's hard to do. That's actually really hard to do. There are some songs that I've listened to where they jump back and forth really fast because they can do that by just stopping and starting takes, putting them together. But if you try to do it live, it's really hard to do, to instantly turn back and forth between vocal fry and just regular, what people consider regular singing, and then jump back and forth within an instant of each other, because usually it kind of takes like a second to do what you need to do in your throat to be able to switch between the two singing styles. Just switching in an instant is really fucking hard to do. Whether she can actually do that in real life or not, I do not know, but again, her studio work is fucking amazing. Moving on, because we spent some good time here. I'm going to go to the second verse for this. As I was just talking about, it's not staccato. I usually use staccato a lot. But no, this is more marcato singing. Like, everything is accented. Everything is specifically punching every word. It's very accent detailed in the chorus. Not the chorus, the verses. So let's go find the segment.
You see every now and then I forget which one I want and which one that I need. I have come to realize that.
Even right there, realize. Like, every single note is every single word, because again, there's no note, it's atonal. Every single note is specifically punched. It's like everyone has an accent on dun 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 dun. Like, every single word is hard tongue accented. Such a cool rhythm. Like, the chorus has such a fucking cool rhythm to it. I love that. That's really awesome. We got yes, more kind of the next two here is actually the last things we have here is kind of the example of emotion that I was talking about here. We got around 335 I put down. It's gonna be hard to find the other ones because my face is gonna be broken. And she's really good at bringing God, what is that called? I need to look at music more. I need to practice more, and I haven't, and so some of these words fall away from me. I should be doing, yeah. But hey, I'm moving, and I will have more time to actually practice that stuff. So keep me honest here. There is a musical term. No, it's not right. Where everything just drops immediately, not decrescendo, but it's when it instantly drops and then starts to rise again. I can't remember what that term is called off the top of my head, but she's really good at bringing the energy down, and then just anger and like you can just feel the angst and anger in every word as she just crescendos and crescendos. The energy just builds and builds until she gets to the part where she's actually using her false chords and stuff and screaming. and it just not false chords, false folds, and just starts screaming. Like she just crescendos and builds up all this energy and then explodes. And I think I found that around here. She said that twice. It's raising. It's raising. And this brings us to the other example here. While this is all happening at the same time, and I feel like she says "get out of my head" again, because I had that written down, but in like 20 seconds it's supposed to happen or something. So I think she does it again. I didn't recognize she did it twice. But you can hear this almost in all this rising anger and angst. You can almost hear like she's crying. Like it's like she's trying to say the words, but they're breaking apart as she's saying them into this kind of like almost wilting cry. Like I don't know how she does it, but it's really fucking cool. See if you can hear it. These chains, you can't stop me. Even with these chains, you can't stop me. Even in these chains, you won't break me. Even in these chains, you won't. Right there, when she went, like just like saying the word and it just broke apart in the word. That weird sound she just made there. It's almost like she cries for a second and then composes herself again. It's just so much energy and emotion just pouring out of the words, and that's really what I love about this band. Oh, Maria mostly. The rest of the band is again just a support group. But again, it's building until the part where she's about to scream, I believe. Scream again, "get out of my head." So raising more. Okay. I wrote that at the wrong spot. That was it. Yeah, I totally. I just like that scream. Then I wrote it at the wrong spot. It was something else. But yes, you see, we're just gonna listen to it one more time and we're gonna be done. I swear. I mean, the number of times band directors say that they're not telling the truth. It's just like one more time. I just want to hear it one more time, and everyone's like, "I know what that means." Sorry, when you do it so well, I want to hear it again. So it builds into the point where she just can't take it anymore and just screams. Like that's the last thing she can just. This is the only way she can express what's happening inside. The only way she can get the emotion out is it just boils up to a point where all you can do is just scream it out, and that just so cool. It just explodes. I am happy to be back within this moment, man. I swear, she is rapidly becoming one of my favorite metal singers, female metal singers. Put that out there. I would have to find out if it would be just metal singer, period, because there's a lot out there, and I haven't really thought about that before. But definitely my favorite female metal singer ever. So that's all I got. Like, this was exactly what I expected from everyone hyping this song up. This is such a good song. These lyrics are crazy, and I'd love to. It definitely feels like kind of like battling within yourself, just on the, you just have this part of you that takes over sometimes, and you're arguing within yourself, and one side wins sometimes, kind of thing. This is just kind of what I'm surface reading here, so I'm really excited to delve into that in my own time and just kind of really suss out what I feel the meaning of the song is. But it's already just really singing to me, and it's so good. This is so good. I'm excited to continue. Thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think about my assessment and what you think of the song in general in the comments below. I would love to hear it. I would love to talk about it. And I'll see you for just more crazy insanity.